Well, if you're a soccer player, you can go abroad. And that's probably the best training that you can get in the world. I'll give it to soccer. But tennis, golf, basketball, football, baseball, all those athletes from all around the world, you know where they go to train?
South Florida.
Right here.
Yeah. I mean, they're here in the United States in some form or fashion to either play at our colleges, because our colleges and high schools have developed players for the last 60 to 80 years on a successful basis.
Right.
All right? There's a system. High school, college, and the universities. For these other sports, they don't. There's academies they go to. Chris Everett has academies, golf academies. You're going to Lithuania to play basketball? You know where all the good Lithuanian players are, Jenna? They're in the United States playing basketball. Like, this is not a place that I would trade in my childhood to go play there. And these are just kids. Like, kids cannot play against grown men. There's always this argument, oh, Jadeveon Clowney, he could have been the first guy to come from high school to the pros. He didn't even do good coming from college to the pros. Like, you don't want kids playing against grown men. I mean, this is an awful league. It's a very, very small place. From a culture standpoint, what do they learn? They live with their dad. They don't have any practice, so they work out with their dad all the time. The coach
Their dad's not even going to live there full time.
Oh, really? So he's going to sentence them there, and then he's not even going to go there with them.
Why? Why did he pick that team?
Well,
is that the only team that wanted him?
Well, so listen, you had to find a league where they'd let them play together, and that they'd take on a 16-year-old child. And so Fran Fraschilla, who knows a lot more about this than me.
Yeah, give us a little context. I don't think a lot of people fully understand what it means to play overseas.
So people say, oh, go play in Europe. Yeah. But there's over a dozen leagues in Europe. Fran Fraschilla ranked the top 12 leagues that aren't the NBA. Mm-hmm. Lithuania's LKL came in number 11th. Right behind Australia's National Basketball League and right in front of the Chinese Basketball Association.
Well, you got to move to 12 because they couldn't go to China.
Well, oh, correct. That's a good point.
He's banned from China.
But also keep in mind, that's the LKL.
They're not even playing for that
in the second division, most likely, the BBL, where players make approximately $500 a month, and they'll be living in a town with approximately 10,000 people. You know what this sounds great for? A reality television show. The Ball Brothers Abroad. And that's what, listen, it's a weird thing, because I'm a parent, and I have a 19-year-old, 12-year-old. The 12-year-old doesn't really get to make any of her own decisions. Like, we let her think she does, but, you know, the 19-year-old gets to make some of his own decisions, but as long as he's living on my payroll, like, I have veto power. So 16's kind of in between. Mm-hmm. So I do understand that sometimes a parent needs to say, you don't want to do this. It's not your choice. You need to do this. But if you are going to do that, you better be right. You better have good rationale. You better have pure motives. And I know people get mad, oh, don't try to raise someone else's kids. I get that. I understand that. But I am watching this from afar. And it was so, the juxtaposition of this, good job to our producers in the back. I think this is what Deontay does, putting these things next to each other. Talking about the Ohio State thing, your experience there, and now the experience they're not having at UCLA. Like,
I mean, their dad robbed them. Their dad made decisions because reality-based, and you didn't have to take the kid out of high school. And you don't have to make a decision absent, of all the other kids. Like, you are not going to Lithuania and going to the Lakers. I don't know why you're trying to sell this. And I'm afraid for the kids because the kids have no clue of what they're getting into. Their dad is writing a check that they got to cash, all right? Because, they got teammates, Jenna. One of their teammates is a sponsor. All right, now the team doesn't practice, but he's one of the sponsors of the team. He donates money, but he don't play in the game, but he just hangs around because he's one of the sponsors. 31 years old, a sponsor, not a basketball player. This is not the way. right, that you develop
Sure.
professional athletes. My mom, God bless her, raised 7 kids. 7 kids before she was 25. There's 4 boys. 2 of us, the 2 of us, we played 23 years of professional basketball and football. I got a son. Didn't have a great experience in college. He's playing his 4th year in the CFL abroad. 2 years has been CFL All-Star. So I'm very familiar as far as developing players and where they should go and how they should develop. Like, this is a huge mistake. They could have went to a Division II school, a D3 school. The other kid, LaMelo, he could have went to any type of high school, an academy, IMG in Florida. Like, he could have been playing against other all-star kids for the next 2 years.
But instead,
there were so many more options.
And they send them clearly across the world on a team where, forget getting the rest of your education, they don't even speak English. They don't speak the same language. They don't practice. They can't better their game. They can't better their life skills. They can't better their education. I don't see what becomes better from them going there.
You know, what Occam's razor, the simplest solution is often the correct one. The only way this makes sense is the only reason you would do this. Pull your kid, one kid out of high school, one kid out of college, because keep in mind, LiAngelo was not kicked off the team.
No.
He was not kicked out of school. He was suspended indefinitely. The only reason this makes sense is because if they're NCAA athletes, they cannot be part of your brand mechanism. Now, I think the NCAA rules are absurd. It's one thing I agree with LeVar on. Like, of course, they should be able to do big baller stuff.
Okay, but
the
those
rules are the
right
rules
now.
as they are now.
Right.
And the only way they can be part of your marketing apparatus is if you remove them from that. And to remove them from that and have it, listen, if the story was, guess what? Real Madrid in Spain's league wants them, I'd be like, you know what, LeVar? You're playing 4D chess, and I'm out here playing checkers. Good luck. God bless. That is awesome. But you're in Lithuania's D League.
And the plan was working. Get your kids into UCLA, let them go pro, and then really put this big baller brand together. Fine.
Jenna,
but it was all in place.
Jenna, Nick
he broke it.
Jenna, Nick and I were at Fox. We spent some time on UCLA's campus. Let me tell you, I looked up every picture I could of Lithuania this morning. and let me tell you something. He has played a trick on them boys.
Yeah.
Because to take take him out of UCLA, and to put him in this small town of 10,000?
Where 90% of people right now are probably looking on a map to even find where Lithuania is, I'm sure.
I mean, man, this is sad to see, because for me, forget parenting. I'm just talking about athletes. I'm into athletes and their potential being fulfilled. And that's what the kids, I believe, are being robbed of. They don't have the best chance to be successful because now they're not in the pipeline to be developed like they were playing AAU basketball, high school basketball, UCLA basketball, and then on somewhere else, hopefully.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.